Okay, this is...
You know what I mean? We're Democrats, we this. We're Republicans, I say, we didn't put you in there.
Jim. Now walk over here. Oh, wait, hold it. Come back. And Jim's walking around the kitchen. And going to walk over here. Okay. Now we're going to stop. I'm going to follow you back with this backlight.
Backlight switch on.
Yeah, it's. I can see something, but I can't see what. It's on. And we're walking back across the kitchen. And back here, oh, you're getting a little bit lighter, Come all the way back to the refrigerator. Okay. And what? And what did you think of it?
It's lovely. Different. Unique. I enjoyed it.
Are you going to go home and redecorate, or do no?
I love my home.
Okay. Glad to hear that.
Glad to hear that. It's relief.
Isabel, what do you think? Are you going to go home and change anything?
Going back to my double line and enjoy it.
May, did this give you any ideas for redecorating? No, it doesn't. Oh, well. And this is Lake Norman. That's seen from the balcony at Marietta's home. Looking out over the lake. There's the dock. And if we pan down a little bit below the balcony, we'll see some of our Long Lake group talking.
This week was 31 million.
Alan Olson?
Yes.
Would you like to speak to the camera?
Oh, hey, we're having a beautiful day. We're going to have a boat ride.
Good.
It's a great day today.
Okay.
Kaylee already bumped her head.
Oh, that's great. Okay, Mr. Weinheimer. Do you have any words for the camera? Not really? Oh, come on. Say something. Say something.
This guy's bald head.
Take something deep.
Hey, turn around. Don't show his bald head.
Okay. Okay. Now, where's Baldo? Up, Frank?
Kaylee's not been busy in bed.
That's all right, Frank, turn around. Let me see your... Oh, there, that's very nice. That's very nice. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate that. John,
You're having your picture taken. Any comments?
do you have any comments for posterity? Come on, John. Give us something deep, like 7 years ago.
Give a speech, John.
Modeling hand.
Okay, I won't watch you.
Keep modeling. How about that?
John didn't say it.
He doesn't know how to talk. He just shakes his head.
Yes, what would you like to say, Norb?
What?
What would you like
Is
to
this
say?
voice?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, then, you know.
You'll never shut up.
What did we
You'll
say?
never shut up. The boat's late. You're tired of waiting.
Lost for work.
Your lunch is going to be late. The lunch is going to get cold. It's sitting there waiting.
All right, how about the Hamiltons? Do the Hamiltons have anything to say for posterity?
Where the hell's Hamilton's at?
I'm sorry, Bill Hamilton and...
You're gonna need it.
Dorothy?
Have a good time today, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Okay. Big Jim, back there in the corner.
The thing I have to say is I take over again tomorrow morning.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
You have your fun today.
Ooh, is that a threat?
Take a look at that spring.
Belle,
Yes.
do you have anything to say?
Have fun on the boat. Enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Have a great time today.
Okay, Sue.
It's up to you to do it yourself.
Don't do me, please.
Sue, you going swimming?
Do her, please.
You going swimming?
No.
You're not.
No.
Keep your mouth in. Put another ice cube in. Put another ice cube in.
Welcome to Rich and Famous.
Ron, have you toured the house?
I own this estate.
You sure did.
My servants. I just pick up me again. Incognito, you know.
I
I plan on building a little bigger one next year.
I see. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Welcome to Rich and Famous.
That's good.
Caesar?
Hi.
Hi.
That's my servant.
Ron can handle this kind of life. I can't.
Yeah,
Well,
who had the balcony last night?
But my wife could.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you have anything to say for posterity?
posterity, more Model A's on the road.
Okay. Okay.
Now you gotta sell more parts.
That's exactly right. Okay, who's next over here? Oh, Chuck. Okay, hi. Hi, Chuck. What's happening?
I'll agree with Caesar. More Model A's on the road.
Okay.
More parts.
Hey, Chuck, did you bring a bathing suit? Are you going swimming?
No, I'm not going swimming.
Oh, come on.
No, I'll let the grandchildren do all the swimming for me.
Okay.
They brought theirs.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you when you aim into the sun with me, it just gets dark.
Somebody will take the seat.
She's in the dark as far as the camera.
It's aiming in the sun.
Yeah.
Goes right in the, yeah.
We're going in to see. There's Mark. Mark was just, hey Mark, how you doing?
Was successful. Do you want to see the product?
No, that's quite all right.
Okay.
Aunt Suzanne?
Please notice I'm putting the seat down.
This is a message for Aunt Suzanne now. Anything else? Anything else you want to say to her?
I really don't think so. I've had a little gas, but I'm feeling much better now.
Good. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
God, get me out of here.
You're talking for the camera, you two.
Oh, no. Let's watch it. This is a private conversation. Do you mind?
We don't want to record
We
it.
do not want to record it. We might get blackmail. Blackball? Okay.
I've heard a lot of things. I never heard of black balls.
Okay, I just thought we might lose all our friendship, huh?
No. Nobody ever sees your balls.
Keith and I could talk to one another. Strangers it may seem.
That'd be strange.
People waiting for the boat. Brittany Olson is sitting down there, and Ron Mangus and Marietta. I think Marietta's husband, and I think that other little kid there is Chuck and Sue Lewis's grandson. They're all here waiting for the boat. And the boat should be coming from this direction, but the jerk pulled into the wrong port.
Let me get on the phone.
He's not even looking this way. By the time I get my boat in the water, he'll be a mile away.
Our boat, but he went down the wrong cove and he's going back out to sea. So now Ron is trying desperately to signal.
Yo!
Okay, I'm still down here in the garage, and as I said, checking out the 1950 here to get ready to go away tomorrow. And put a quart of oil in it. Took #1 spark plug out to check the condition of the points on the gap. I wanted to see how much carbon was deposited on it, if any. And there was carbon on the plug, but not on the firing pin. The firing tip had a nice little bit of gray on it, and that's where I want it. So tomorrow with some high test gas wire, we should be able to run pretty fair. Let's see what's going on down Soul Street here. This, of course, is a parking lot. And these fellows are all EMTs and paramedics who work for the ambulance service. Take a walk out there and make sure I close the garage, the lower door. And indeed, it is closed. Okay. We're also going to go on a cruise on the lake, which we're going to have brunch, and we're going to set up a tent, a huge tent tomorrow evening on the grounds of the new Raystown Inn for a country western hoedown dinner. And then later on in the evening, Bill Artsberger, who is active with both the Corvair Club and the Western Pennsylvania chapter of Antique Automobile Club of America, is also a member of the Three Rivers Model A region, is going to show some slides on antique cars. The car's been out a couple of times this summer and has run very well. I am going to check the spark plugs though, so I get a look at them. #5 sometimes pumps a little too much carbon, so I'm going to open it up and take a look at it now. We're down here in the garage. We might as well take a minute, take a look at the 1930 Model A Ford, she's in for a complete transplant, as you can see. We had to lift the engine out and put a rebuilt engine in. So we're just on hold here right now for a couple of days while we wait for Al from A&L Motors to send us a new pressure plate. The one we have apparently seems to be defective, so as long as the engine's out, we may as well go ahead and make sure it's right, so we'll get another pressure plate. This is Keith Waltire's cherry picker. I have it all hooked up to the new engine. It's sitting here waiting to be put in the car. You can see in the background the old engine, or the engine that we had originally got from McKee, and after getting the engine installed, discovered that the darn thing had a cracked block, so we had to stop what we were doing. As you can see, this is a rather dull day. Just walking up from one garage to the other. 3 of the rigs are in, I presume for the day. Of course, not number 5 there. That might be going back out again. So I'm going to walk up here now and check the oil in the 1950. First of all, I had it out a week or so ago and ran it for 100 and so miles. So you have to check the oil every once in a while. These older engines, if you hadn't used them on a regular basis, they tended to use a little bit of oil. Also, from sitting, leaks a little out of the rear main. Here in the garage now, I checked the oil, and yes, the darn thing did need a quart of oil. So I put that in. I also pulled out number 1 plug, spark plug. Wanted to have a look at it because I thought it was running a little bit rich when I went to Carlisle in June. So I pulled that out, and it doesn't have a bad tip on it at all. It's got a nice gray tip inside, a little bit of carbon around the outside, but for the most part a nice gray tip, and that's what you want to see. So here we are. I'm still down in the garage. There's my Mighty 29 back there. Some of Katie's furniture that she sent home from Washington, D.C. by way of Suzanne the other day. Number 55 just coming in. This is the flagship of the McKee Sports fleet, the newest rig. I always refer to this as being my handling. Ready 55, and someone's going back out now. They're going on. Okay, 53 is going out. That's what we like to see, keep those rigs rolling. Also partaking of the lake today.
Oh man, did you see that, Dorothy? Dorothy! Dorothy!
It's on the tape, it's on the tape, don't worry. Suzanne, she's there fooling around with that tape apparatus with Dave Lewis. Let's zoom in on that a little closer there and get a better view. There we go. We're going in. Yes, it's way down.
Wave!
Yep.
Here she is!
Now, Dave Lewis just went down there. Dave's back up now.
No, it's Ed.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Ed. Ed Weinheimer. I thought it was Dave Lewis. And at Lewis, and they're really working hard at this Mark convention we're going to. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Someone has to assume the leadership of this club and partake of the finer perks that it has to offer.
Good job.
Demonstrate on diving and the proper procedures of diving.
Okay, I'll do it right in there.
Being an airline pilot, he knows how to dive. Go ahead, Alan. You are on. There goes Alan. There he goes. Hey! How about that? How's that grab your old thing, huh? Well, well, well.
Okay. Did you get a picture of the dog?
She knows what she's doing.
The dog.
I'm sorry, Britt.
You did a good job. Look at that thing.
They're swimming out to the raft to his mother and Dolores Magi. There we go. Hey, there you go. Go to it, my friend.
We had two
There she goes.
Come on. Uh-oh, there goes your cooler.
My nephew slapped him.
That's the only way he doesn't get any wrong.
Come on, over here.
Come on, Keith, both feet.
Other bike Suzanne, where the picture bike?
Those catfish, Suzanne's referring to Christ, so she must be praying.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, you'd all be fuzzy. Everybody's going to lose them. Like your eyes shut.
Wow.
That was very good. Good, Britt.
Wow.
I'm making our way up the pathway here from the swimming area, and this is the front of her home. I'm sitting under the canopy. One of the senior members of the organization.
One of the more active members.
He's one of the more active members, and we refer to him as being the senior mechanic of the club. Now, he's had a very busy day today. He started out at 4:30 this morning by going to the bathroom. Then he went back to bed, and now he's making up for his time.
One of our more active members.
And sitting right at his left shoulder, of course, is Frank Froelich, who's made his way up here from Florida just to aggravate Norb as best he could, and he's doing a good job. And there they are, sitting all there on the wall. Everyone's taking a picture of Norb. They will not let the poor man rest in peace up here. We're getting ready to eat dinner. The table's been set.
And he kind of comes up with the same thing.
We are at McDonald's. This is August the 28th, 7:45 a.m. This is the Corvair Club of Western Pennsylvania and Western Pennsylvania Antique Automobile Club, and we're all going out on a tour. This is Carol Friend, Al Friend's wife, and they're in charge of this meeting starting today.
Thank you, Deb. Keep going. About 1:30. So you might have another half hour there. You might want to go over and ride the antique trolleys. And the antique trolleys take you on a little ride out, and they have a trolley museum out there. So you really have fun. And when you get to the Swigert Museum, you get to it. It doesn't really matter. And leave when you want to. Just so you have time to get back and check in and be at dinner by 4:30. Now, when you get to the resort, okay, for those of you who haven't been there, when you go in, you want to take your first right, okay, and that's where you're going to sign in, check in, and they should have your reservations there. And then what you want to do, they'll give you directions to the loft.
I wish somebody's getting these instructions.
Not the local people. Who's the most, who would you say is the most prominent resident of Lake Road?
Me.
Besides Jack Clark.
You asked, boy.
No, you. Arnold Palmer, okay. How you doing, Ray? Okay, Arnold Palmer. Okay, now Arnie's house is about a half a mile, I would guess, right over that dead tree. About a half a mile that way is where Arnie Palmer is.
Al, you just got a bank and nobody done it.
Was that here? Okay. Yeah, he has one like that. Okay, Arnie has a plane like the one at Lamb's. That might have been
We might be seeing them.
Tractor is at the country club. The tractor is over at the Lake Road Country Club, about a half a mile over. Okay? The second
There's
most
Patty and
famous
Rich.
Lake Road before it's gone is Rolling Rock Beer.
Money Mouse is gone.
Oh, that's right. He is on a commercial.
Now we're here at the East Broad Top Railroad, and with the Corvair Club. And we just took a ride out in the country with that train, waiting for its next load of people. The folks from the Corvair Club are making their way back to their cars and on to the next stop. This is the train station, East Broadtop Railroad. And this is a 1957 Chrysler experimental car that this fella had. Swiggert's Museum here. And this is Bill. He's demonstrating some antique toys he has to some of the fellows. And this is Bill's museum. We're in an ante room, right outside where the cars are. Comes Al Friend, he's running through there.
Don't you touch anything.
Store here we have. This is the outside of Bill Swiggert's Museum on Heatherington, Route 22. And we're coming here, of course, to make a tour of it. See the cars and things that we have. Let's see here. On the ground. Side of Bill Swiggert's Museum, and this is one of his cars. This is a 1957 Chrysler experimental car. I showed you this earlier when we were riding the East Broadtop Railroad train. Okay, we're inside now, and Bill's explaining about some of the cars that are here.
That's one advantage of going this way. And then the Mitchell here in the end, the final two passenger. I like to refer to these two passenger cars. This one no longer could be capitalized as. It runs very well.
This is a 16-cylinder Marmot.
Something sparring all the time, and it makes a great piece to ride in. It's great with a top down. The early cars had lots of air. They didn't have air conditioning. They had lots of air. And as you go around, and by the way, these spittoons, someone said to me, what do these have to do with an automobile? They don't have anything to do with an automobile. But some years back, I began to collect cuspidors, human, spittoons, and gaboons. That's the other one. Gaboons, cuspidor, and spittoons. And airflow, they made a Chrysler DeSoto airflow. The car was, I think, one of the safest cars we made. It was a delight to drive. It doesn't have much energy, and you would probably enjoy very much taking a ride in DeSoto. Here is a model from England, sold some years ago. These wires on battery. You have to have a water pump, and this water pump runs with the battery. And you have to have a pressure cap on the radiator. This doesn't make a very good pressure cap, but it does illustrate very well what happens when you don't have those three things. And the gauges here in front show you the fluctuation from relatively nothing up to above 200 in danger zone, above 212 degrees. And they can understand then why they need to have a fan belt, why they need to have water in the radiator, and whatever. You can't believe the Army.
30 DuPont automobile, manufactured by the infamous DuPont family. Right now, Bill's explaining something about an old Cadillac. And our host, Al Friend, admiring this DuPont. Bill Swiggert's explaining this Duesenberg.
You? No. How about the man with the red shirt here? Go ahead, Rick. You notice what this does to him? He'll show up good on film, Bill, with that red shirt.
Oh, Richard. Richard's getting in behind the wheel of this Duesenberg.
Now this, where he just came in, is typical of Duesenberg's completion. Look at that. Cheryl.
Stick your head out, Rich.
Where's the champagne?
You'll like it.
But that gives you some idea. And all the instruments are. And that runs just as well as it looks. That model.
There's Rich there, right? Bill Swiggert's.
Fred and August Duesenberg built these cars, Fred in the teens, who wanted a car with the quality of a Rolls Royce, the smallest of a Model T Ford, and a Mercedes radiator. And James Scripps Booth built this car for her. Her name was Eleanor Sears, just like Sears Roebuck. And I wrote to Mr. What did I say his name was? Sears. No, Eleanor Sears was
Booth.
With James Scripps Booth. James Scripps Booth. And he said, I never built that car. And I said, well, will you please come to Huntington and look at the car? And I led him in through the doorway here and turned around here. He came into the doorway there and he just couldn't believe it. He said, I built it. But he had forgotten about it. Under that Duesenberg.
Oh boy.
I say that every time this goes up, and the engine cools off, this comes down. And it really works. He said, Mr. Patton, you really like that, don't you? I said, boy, I love it. He said, when I sell the automobile, I'll give you the order. That's the only thing left of the combination. He gave it to me. This is a Buick LC Wolf, and he bought the Winton. And he made it back to his home in Ohio behind a couple of horses. And he went back to Columbus and he said, Mr. Winton, if I couldn't build a better car than what you've sold me, I wouldn't build one. We said, why don't you go ahead and try to build one? Winton said, Packard said, I will. And he went back to Lorraine and built Packard more than Winton had ever produced an automobile. But the Winton was a great car, and this is one of the greatest. This is 1910. This had license plate number 1 in Pennsylvania. George, what was the Democrat?
Leader.
George Leader said, if you'll come down to Harrisburg and show us what you want the license plate, we'll build you. Make it. Or we'll sell it. Obviously, in our state. And so our office had money have to be running with these two colors. It's some advertising to it. And we sent this, and I'll show you the plate we sent to them. And they're out front to provide a model. So this has to be like. And so he saw a design in the ceiling wallpaper, a little like this. And he said, Chevrolet would go well on that. And so that's the source of the Chevrolet nameplate. Then the next 3 cars are cars that were here for a